Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wildlife is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovery Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark were explorers who led an important expedition. In 1803, the United States President Thomas Jefferson commissioned the Corps of Discovery to explore the Louisiana Purchase, which the country had just bought from France. This land was made up of much of what is now the central and western United States. He named U.S. Army Captain Meriwether Lewis its leader, who in turn selected William Clark as second in command. Jefferson told the two captains it was important to keep careful records and make maps of their travels. The co-captains were to send back reports and samples of their discoveries. They were to write in their journals every day, describing what they saw and found, animals, plants, and minerals not known in the United States. In preparing for the expedition, Clark was responsible for hiring and training the men, while Lewis gathered the equipment and supplies they would need. They packed lots of equipment for their trip, including rifles, food, and warm clothing. They even bought lots of glass beads and trinkets so they could trade with the Indians along the way. Lewis and Clark, together with their team of over 40 men, began their expedition at the city of St. Louis on May 14, 1804. Seaman, a Newfoundland dog, was also a member of the Lewis and Clark expedition, the first trip from the Mississippi River to the Pacific coast and back. They started out traveling up the Missouri River. They had one large boat called a barge and two smaller boats called pirogues. They were traveling against the current, so they had to use long poles to push the boats or even ropes to pull the boats from the banks. Lewis and Clark met many Native American tribes along the way. Although there were some tense moments, they made friends and traded with many different tribes. They even spent the first winter with the Mandan Nation in what is now North Dakota and built Fort Madden. There they met a Fort trapper named Toussaint Charbonneau and his Shoshone wife Sacagawea. Sacagawea joined the expedition as an interpreter. She helped the expedition in many ways as they traveled, including showing them edible plants and helping to keep peace and trade with different tribes because she knew Native American languages. Without help from the Native American tribes as well as Sacagawea, the expedition would have surely failed. In April 1805, a small group returns to President Jefferson with maps, specimens, and a report on the expedition's findings. As the rest of the expedition continued up the Missouri River into what is today the state of Montana, they ran into the Great Falls. It took them nearly a month to carry their boats for miles around the Great Falls. Next, Lewis and Clark came to the Bitterroot Range of the Northern Rocky Mountains. These mountains were much more difficult to traverse than they first expected. When they finally made it across the Rockies after 11 days, they met Denise Purse people who helped them with food and shelter. The group then floated down the Columbia River after descending the Clearwater and Snake rivers. They reached the Pacific Ocean on November 15, 1805. They had traveled more than 4,100 miles. They spent a rainy winter south of what is now Austria, Oregon, building Fort Clatsop. By March 22, 1806, the stormy river had subsided, and the following morning the corps began their journey homeward using canoes and later by land. The return trip began on March 23, 1806. The group crossed the Rocky Mountains in June. Clark then followed the Yellowstone River to the Missouri. Lewis went northeast to explore the Morris River. There, the expedition had its only fight with Native Americans. 2 members of the Blackfeet tribe were killed. The party reunited downriver. The man left Sacagawea and her family at the Manassu villages. The explorers reached St. Louis on September 23rd, 1806. The total journey was over 7,000 miles. Lewis and Clark brought back diaries and maps that they had made on their journey. These provided much information about the land, plants, animals, and people of the Western Territory. They identified more than 300 species of plants and animals unknown to Europeans. Many animals were new to Lewis and Clark, including the grizzly bear and the prairie dog. Since the expedition, Lewis and Clark have been commemorated and honored over the years on various coins, currency, and commemorative postage stamps, as well as in a number of other capacities. Thanks for watching this Adventurous Kids episode.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous